Yo, what's up everyone? Good morning, welcome back. The time is 10:03 and man, let me tell you guys, it's been a rough morning. It's been a long night. Went to bed last night at like 1 a.m. and the baby woke up at 4. And so I basically got like 3 hours of sleep. He usually goes to bed the night before at like 7, around 7. And he'll wake up usually at like 5:30 or 6 the next morning. But man, last night he did not want to go back to bed. I had to stay up with him from like 4 to 6 and till the wifey went to work. But yeah, man, I'm exhausted. But I'm in my basement right now, as you can see. Cause I'm gonna hit some cardio. I don't ever hit cardio usually this late. I usually just do it as soon as I wake up. Kind of do fasted cardio, but I already ate today because I was starving. I already had a meeting. But yeah, I'm gonna hit the Peloton, but I'm dreading it because I don't know if you guys ever sat on the Peloton, on like a Peloton bike, but this seat is so hard, and I only do cardio for like 20 minutes in the morning. But dude, that seat like really hurts my booty cheeks. And I don't know if I'm supposed to put like a cushion on it or something, but dude, it's like so painful. And that's like one reason why I dread it. I mean, another reason is just because I don't like cardio. I don't think anyone likes cardio, but dude, it hurts so much. But I have a treadmill here too, so I'll like switch off. But today I'm gonna be doing the bike. But yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to get like a cushion or something or a pillow to, make it a little softer. But yeah, man, before I wanted to get into today's video, I want to talk about how I kind of got here. You guys can see I'm still at home. If you don't already know, like I work from home full time. So I kind of want to just talk about like how I got here, kind of like my journey. And really just like kind of talk about that. So let me put you guys down. So I don't know if you guys know, but I am not a full-time content creator. I basically just do this for fun, and my full-time job is I work in cybersecurity as a application security engineer. And how I kind of got into my career. I did go to school. I graduated high school in 2015, and then I went to college right after for a year, and then I basically just dropped out because I was doing nursing, and I remember I was on like this ambulance ride, and they were dealing with a lot of poop, and I can't deal with like human poop. I can do like dog poop, but I can't do like human poo, and none of the blood and stuff scared me, but I just couldn't do the poop. So I knew I didn't want to do nursing, and honestly, props to all the nurses out there. You guys could definitely do that, something that I can't do. But I basically dropped out after my first year of college because I just didn't know what to do. That was like my whole kind of life. I was just like, I wanted to get into nursing. But yeah, I dropped out, had no idea what I wanted to do. I took like a year and a half off of school, almost 2 years off of school. And then during that time, I was just kind of doing whatever. I like tried for my like realtor license. I was just kind of doing whatever. But I knew I always had a passion for like tech because I grew up like playing a lot of video games, and I built a lot of computers and stuff, and I like sold them on Craigslist. But so I knew I had a big passion in tech, and so I decided to go back to school around 2018, and basically part of the reason to go back to school was to basically kind of like make my parents proud, because they're like first generation Korean parents, And I know like that's like all they wanted me to do is like graduate from college. from like university. So that's like a big reason why I went back too, and just kind of finished what I started. So I went back to school in 2018. My major is information systems and science. And the reason I chose that major and not like cybersecurity, my school didn't have a cybersecurity degree. So like the closest thing, there was like computer science, obviously, software engineering, and then information systems and science. But then, they had like this kind of separate path of security in my degree, in my major. So I basically I know I didn't want to do like computer science and software engineering because everyone wanted to do that. That was like the cool thing to do back then. So I kind of wanted to be different. And so I went through the cybersecurity route or the information systems route. That major is basically like a little bit of business, a little bit of coding, and then a little bit of security. So it's kind of like, kind of all three. So I chose that major. My classes were like maybe 10 people. There was like barely anyone in there. But, I failed a bunch of classes for sure, but I still passed. I finished in winter of 2021, December 2021, I graduated. So I think I took like an extra semester actually because I failed some classes. And then this was like the part where I was like really like, I feel like every college graduate just like expects, because they got the degree, they're like, they kind of like deserve a job. So, I was like thinking that I was gonna get a job, no problem, especially because it was like tech and stuff. And I felt like that industry was just like really easy to get a job. But I started applying to jobs in like November, like a month before I graduated. I applied to like 50 different jobs and not a single one reached back out to me. I figured it was because it was like Christmas time, New Year's, so like all the holidays, and like Thanksgiving. So I was just like whatever. But I also, when I was going through these applications and like reading the job duties, I had like no idea what they're even talking about. And I'm just like, dude, I like graduated, I have a degree, like how do I not know any of this stuff? So I knew I had to, if I was gonna like even get into these interviews, I was so nervous. I knew I had to like do something to like learn a little bit more before I get into these actual interviews. So, after applying for so many jobs, I knew, I was like expecting not to hear back. So I kind of just gave up and I was like, I'll start in the new year. And so I was just kind of working on a part-time job locally. But during that time, I basically just like studied, kind of like self-studied on YouTube, and on like some online courses, some like cheap online courses. They were like $10 for like a month, 2 months straight, just kind of throughout the holidays and throughout the new year, just to kind of like learn a little bit more, especially like, because school learning and then like real world learning is so different. Like school, you can't like use Google, you can't use can't use like online resources because then you're just saying it's cheating. But like the real world is so different, and so I was just kind of learning everything, just kind of self-learning. And then after the new year, I heard back from a couple recruiters, and I did the interviews. And let me tell you, man, these interviews, if there were 50 questions, I probably got like 40 of them just like completely wrong, and like a lot of them are like I had no idea. And I was just honest with them and just telling them like, listen, I don't really know. But for somehow I still got an offer letter. So I had 2 offers out of like the 50 plus applications that I've submitted. I probably had like 5 of them call me back. And then out of those like 5, I basically had 2 of them that basically offered me. One company was a very well-known company that has like a lot of street cred. But they were they were in office 5 days a week, and the other one is also a well-known company, but I guess you could say has less street cred, and but they were fully remote. And so I obviously went with the fully remote because I thought that was so cool. You know, college graduate, I get to work from home. You know, I feel like that's a luxury, so you know, I chose that route. And basically with that job, this was, and see, like, I don't think there's never, I wouldn't say there's anything like, there's no such thing as like an entry-level security job, like cybersecurity job, because I feel like you have to have a lot of background in just kind of tech to start in cybersecurity. It's because it's like really hard. There's like so much to learn, and you're like always learning. But I guess this one was, I would say it was pretty basic, but I got a lot of experience out of it. And so I got this job I started in February, so like February 1st. So basically from like, I graduated December 2021, and I got a job February, like around February 2022. So about like, you know, a couple months later. And I worked at this job for about 6 months, and I felt like I really wasn't like learning actual security stuff. It kind of felt really basic. A lot of stuff that I kind of knew already. So I applied to other jobs, and I had COVID at this time, and I was like so pissed off because I was like sick in bed, and I had like a 105 fever, and I remember just applying a bunch of jobs in bed, and I didn't even care. I didn't even like fill out anything. I just like submitted my resume, and then whatever, I just like left everything blank. But I got a call back, and you know, I went through the interview process for this one place, and they sent me an offer letter, and it was much better than the previous job. So I took that job. That job is where I'm at now, and basically, you know, I've just been learning from there. But you know, basically, like, I'm really blessed to have like a remote job, especially like as a new dad. I can like spend time with my family a lot more, and also, you know, I don't have like, all my friends talk about the commute. You know, their commute sucks, like driving like 2-3 hours a day, you know, Monday through Friday. And I guess I'm like really grateful that I don't have to do all that, because truthfully, I don't think I could do that. And I think being remote is definitely a luxury. So it is a little weird though, because traditionally I feel like the dad always comes home to, you know, the wife and kid, but for me it's like, it's kind of reversed. Like, they come home to me, and like, you know, I run out and say hi to them. So I guess that's a little weird, but yeah, I mean, I work from home, and I've been working from home since I graduated school. So it's like, I've never even experienced that like traffic commute, the in office, like, I don't even know, what do you, like, it's like corporate, just like the corporate life. Like, I'm still a 9-to-5er, you know what I mean? But like, I guess I haven't really experienced that kind of like typical like corporate life, you know, cubicles and all that. So pretty grateful. I love my job. And you know, I'll do another video on like what I actually do in my job and go a little further into that. But yeah, I mean, that's how I came here. And you know, like I said, I just kind of do this content for fun. Especially because like I can work from home, and I'm a big introvert, so I don't even know if I could like bring this camera outside my house, because it'd be so awkward. But yeah, man, if you guys have any questions, just like let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna go hit that cardio, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.